Uh, hello. Oh, hello. We're live, and Barrick's already joining us in on the audience. Oh God.
Wait, who is?
Barrick. He's a usual lurker. Doesn't say
Welcome,
much, but
welcome.
he's a lurker.
It's always strange for me to think that we have regular.
I mean, he doesn't always say he's lurking, but I always catch him. I catch him in the user list, so I think he's there. Last time, we went into a witch trial where one of the witnesses is literally named Kira, and you had to have it pointed out to you. That's pretty much what happened, right? Let's see here. I mean, so far the witch trial basically involves, Phoenix going, yes, I remember who I am. Hey, let's check that staff for fingerprints. And everybody's like, what the fuck are those? You know?
Yeah, there's a significant amount of that.
There's also like a few brief moments you're like, holy crap, he's actually saying the right stuff. We gotta prove that the staff belongs to, like, you know, my client, and then it was shortcutted by you know, the non-fingerprints thing. But you get my point, right? There's like a couple of moments where you actually praise him on his lawyering, and then just immediately got cut down by the game.
The game was like, we don't need to prove anything. We made a random accusation. None of the facts add up, but still.
So I believe where we left off, it was the first breakpoint, right?
Tell you what, the way we'll test it is we'll dump Maya in a river. If she floats, then Maya's the witch, and if she drowns, then our client isn't a witch.
So where we last left off, I think it was the first breakpoint, where we finally got the Telea Magica, and you did perhaps like the fourth most inappropriate joke on my stream, where you're just like, holy shit, it feels great to just give pieces of evidence out of nowhere. There was some other stuff to that joke. But I think that's where we left off, right? Where we just introduced the Telea Magica.
I think we started fiddling with it a bit.
Yeah. So we're also getting into the fact that this is the first game. Let's get past like the swelling music. Let's get past the swelling music, because as I love listening to it, but I don't like listening to it 80 times over. I'll read this here in a second. But yeah, we introduced Telea Magica, and they went over like the basics of like the two spells that were slotted into it, right? Which was like set shit on fire and make shit invisible. I believe those were the two things, right?
Yes, and I was sitting there going, are you fucking shitting me? Your argument is that she made the how did they find it if it was invisible?
I think it said if she's no longer touching it, it doesn't become invisible or something like that. I don't remember.
What? Then why would she let go of the thing and make it visible? It was her invisible death weapon. Like, this is just dumb.
Yeah. But we have our four witnesses, which, you know, one of them is, you know, a thinker of great proportions and has nothing else to his life. The second one is now, dearie, I have a sheep, and I'm here to, you know, be a sheep, right? To be the sheep lady. Or wait, it was a goat, right? Because she was the person who gave her the milk.
Yes, it was a goat.
It was the goat, yeah. And then there's the character named Kira. Absolutely nothing wrong with this character. 10 out of 10. We'll see it for the rest of the game, right?
Definitely. She is absolutely 100% long-term material.
Yeah. And then we have that guy who has a rubber sword, and he says he's going to be a knight one of these days. Remember his sword wiggles like it's made out of rubber?
Yes, I recall.
Yeah. And those are the four witnesses to this crime. I think we'll get looped into. I'll at least remember by the time we get to the trial where we looped in, right? Because I do remember we poked around with the staff, we introduced Tele Magica, and I think we managed to like actually hit a break time, like in natural in-game break time, where you know like take 5 minutes, talk to your client or whatever. Anyway, who do we think this is? Is this either Maya or Phoenix? It has to be. Crashed our party. That sounds like Maya.
It does.
Okay. Well, so much fun for an evening at home. The knights came and crashed our party. God. They were shouting about a witch in a witch trial. Talk about coming out of left field. They arrested Espella and dragged her to the courthouse under suspicion of being one of those witches they mentioned. And if she's found guilty, oh, you know, they'll only throw her into a pit of fire. They're joking, right? Yeah, that was definitely Maya. Dots. It's probably going to take me a minute to remember all the voices I used. For him, I went with, like...
In fairness, I don't remember the voices I've used, so...
Yeah. Dots. Ah, yes. I am Inquisitor Barnum. I am Inquisitor Barnum. Dots. The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof. Oh, I guess it wasn't a natural breakpoint. Alright. Let me at least take a look at the court record. So we got the Tele Magica. We got the details. We got the deets. Glass is broken and covered in mud. And we have the Grand Grimoire, which we have... This spell's about Demir. Vanishing spell causes anything the caster touches to simply vanish from sight. Simply chant Amir to make it reappear. Okay, so no, it stays vanished forever. Although I'm starting to remember the reason why the invisible staff was found. Ignace summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Requires an incantation and scepter to cast. Alright. I am Inquisitor Barnum. The Inquisition cannot honor this request for proof. Wait, I'm in the wrong menu.
I'm sorry, what?
If you are asserting that the accused is not a witch, then the burden of proof lies at the feet of the defender.
He's like, I'm sorry, what? What? I think I've appropriately encapsulated Phoenix's entire response there. Just what?
I mean,
like, why are you here then?
Oh, right. Leighton was a little bit more warm. As I thought. Indeed, it would appear that the accepted method of thinking in this world differs greatly from our own. How regrettable, Sir Apprentice Baker. And you, Sir Dark Hat. Oh, right, I'm Nidal. Inquisitor Barnum, sir! You should require it. I stand ready to lend my testimony. You're definitely her.
Would anyone care to purchase any pre-testimony flowers? I've got a lovely array of bewitching lilies.
Snowy and I will not be dismissed so easily. We came here to expose the identity of this witch. Isn't that right, Precious? I think I switched her voices to something much worse.
A witch's scepter, you see. Yes, yes, I know such a scepter. Allow me to elucidate the matter.
Yeah, okay, I think I remember the last thing that was said. Until we can prove that she was the one who held this scepter, there's no way to say that she was the witch involved. I think that's what Phoenix said. I think that's the last thing that happened. I could be wrong, though. It's been 1 week since you looked at me. It's been a week where I actually had to do a lot of stuff, so like my brain does not remember it that well. What do you think, Inquisitor Barnum? Your witnesses appear to have something to say on the subject. Dots. Very well. Ah, Most honorable witnesses, I grant your request to testify once more. Tell the court all you know regarding this Telea Magica.
Well, we've managed to keep the trial going. I owe you this one, Sir Dark Hat.
Please, Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton will suffice for the time being. I, too, can read your blue text.
Are you related to Mikatoba Sasato?
I mean, it would actually fit that she, like, stayed in England. It would actually fit.
Not if Ryunosuke went back.
I have no doubt that Ryunosuke went back. When I saw her, the witch was carrying a large milk bucket in one hand and a lantern in the other. The girl had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted in a strange way.
I got a good look at her hand, and it looked for certain like she was gripping something. The witch was holding a scepter in her right hand. She did not drop it once before she was apprehended.
I see. Wait, what did I do for the judge? It was more, probably one of the lower ones. I see. The accused's hand was contorted in a strange way. I do believe this is quite an important piece of testimony.
I saw it. I most certainly saw it. She was holding an invisible scepter. Lady, you saw her holding an invisible scepter.
We saw it too. It was the girl up there, without a doubt.
Yes, well, these old days don't see as well as they once did, but I witnessed the hazy, blurry form of the accused quite clearly. This guy is so clearly a bad witness. Like, what the fuck? Like, not only is he admitting to having bad eyesight, but he said something that was clearly untrue because the arrest report certainly would have mentioned we captured her holding a witch's fucking staff. I feel like that would have been something Inquisitor Barnum would have led with. So you're blind and they let you testify.
My eyesight is as sharp as the edge of my trusty blade. A toy sword. How fascinating. Although I wonder if he understands the implications of that analogy on his vision. Oh, the joke is it's a toy sword, so it's not actually sharp. Okay,
yes.
I understand.
And he's just like,
that took me a little bit.
I wonder if he realizes that he's just said he doesn't have good eyesight.
Like, it took me a little bit to catch on there. Like, admittedly, you like if anybody like takes the little thing at the bottom of the screen, you can see the processing bar fill up. You can actually move that down a little bit. All right, Sir Baker, you may proceed with your interrogation.
Oh, Mr. Darkhat's given me another chance. Can't let it go to waste.
I said it was Sir Layton. Okay. Which was carrying a large milk bag in one hand, lantern in the other. I think I spotted this one already, but I could be wrong. The girl had a lantern hanging from her wrist. Her hand was contorted a strange way. I got a good look at her hand. It looked certain that she was gripping something.
I'm generally of the opinion we push everything because content.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's this statement. Because she did not drop it once. Can we please save that goat? Isa, there's no saving that goat. I think that it is actually present evidence on this statement.
I think you're right, but I'm asking why we wouldn't press everything and get the full plot.
All right.
Hold it.
All right, that's me. The large lantern you mentioned is this one, correct?
No, it's the other one. There is no mistaking it. That fiendish form with its case darker than the darkest of nights. That was the lantern.
Are you by any chance related to someone named Francesca? It's just a normal lantern.
What's this? It would seem the glass is shattered. Easy, man. There's like 3 other people next to you. Don't draw the sword. On closer inspection, it appears the mud is stuck to the broken sections of glass. Most intriguing.
Professor, so then when exactly did the lantern get mud all over it? And by the way, witness, you also saw a milk bucket. Is that right?
Indeed! I would bet my sword on it!
Yeah, that milk bucket mysteriously vanished from the scene of the crime.
Ah. How many times must I say it, Sir Apprentice Baker? The problem is the Black Lantern.
She had the lantern hanging from her wrist. Are you sure?
Of course we're sure. If that wasn't it, then how else would the girl manage to hold her invisible scepter? Why do I feel I suddenly want Schedule 1 and Phoenix Wright crossover for all the wrong reasons? I am aware that game exists, but I have done absolutely no looking into what that game is about. And I think I figured it out based entirely off of its title.
Ma'am, please, just testify about what you actually saw.
We just said that's what we saw. Isn't that right, Snowy? Indeed. A handle as wide as this could be easily hung from the accused's small wrist. Yes, that's what we were telling you. Isn't that right, Mummy Sweet of Snowball? Bah.
It's no good. They were all bent on assuming Isabella was holding that scepter.
Can we charge this woman with goat cruelty? It seems it may be best not to pursue this particular line of questioning any further.
Well, that's just super.
Hold it!
What exactly was the defendant gripping?
A shaft.
It was... that's right. It was something cane-like. What was it called? A witch's scepter? Yes, it was definitely that.
Objection!
Whoa. Miss Kira, you didn't actually see it, did you?
Witness this cane-like object. Was it perhaps roughly this size?
Oh, why yes, it was exactly that size. Yep, yeah.
Just yep, yeah.
It's the same line.
It seems it may not be best to pursue this. Oh, he said the same thing. I think that's a hint that if we unlock something in another part of the testimony, it'll change what other people say.
Hold it!
Let me get this straight. There was no way for you to see this invisible scepter, was there?
Actually, if Isa is here, let's do this. It doesn't have the old messages, but it will get all the new ones. Yes, he has a beard.
Well, no, that's common sense, boy. One cannot see what is not there to be seen. In that case, there was also no way that you could tell whether or not she dropped the scepter. These eyes of mine honed in on her hand like a hawk until they couldn't see straight.
Wait, if it's invisible, how is it a... Where are you going with that one?
The young lady was most certainly holding an invisible scepter in her right hand while at the same time also carrying the lantern. Or do you perhaps possess some piece of evidence to suggest she dropped the scepter?
That's a hint. It's hinting really hard to show something to this guy.
There hasn't been any evidence so far suggesting this fellow was holding a scepter, goddammit.
How? It was invisible. How could they see it? Well, they saw, like, you know, a person holding something, right? You know, if I was very... Well, obviously I can't mime it that well, but if I was very obviously holding something, they might be like, oh, this is a world where magic exists and people can make things invisible. That is their logic. It is, don't get me wrong, absolutely insane logic to even try to, you know, plow through, but that is their logic. Am I wrong in this, Sandry?
Oh, I suspect you're correct, including the fact that it's really stupid.
Evidence suggesting the scepter was dropped. Now that is an interesting idea.
Huh?
Wait. Did a message get... I think YouTube deleted a message, Isa. I do not see it on top chat, but I see it in the other chat. Okay, that's weird. Oh, wait. It's probably because I'm on top chat, and it's here. All messages are visible. Now I can see it. Alright. If Espella did not have the scepter in her hand, it would have been impossible for her to use any magic.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't suppose. Might there be a piece of evidence that could prove this? Might there be a piece of evidence? Maybe something you spotted at the very beginning of this. Something to prove that Espella was not holding the scepter at the time of the murder.
Is this the sketch that we were talking about a while ago?
No, it's the lantern. The lantern is, you know, cracked, dirt, mud. These guys are basically... We're in the loop. We're in the loop. Are basically asserting that, that she, was always holding the scepter. Did not drop it once. Right?
Then how did she drop a lantern that was on her wrist?
Yes. Then how did she drop a lantern?
Objection.
There's a high probability that Miss Cantabella was not holding the scepter. But if, for the sake of argument, she had been holding it, she undoubtedly would have dropped it at the time of the incident.
What do you mean?
Well, dumbass, what I mean is that this lantern proves the defendant was not holding the scepter.
Objection.
Objection. What foolishness are you spouting, Sir Princess Baker? A foolish fool who foolishly says the lantern's handle was around the accused's wrists.
Objection.
Sorry, I tried to make it a
Meaning
foolish fool.
she could have held the scepter. Meaning she could have held the scepter? I'm afraid that's not the problem here, Inquisitor Barnum. The problem is with the broken glass and the mud plastered all over it.
What? Nani?
The rain had ended just as the murder was taking place, remember? That would make the path fairly muddy, don't you think?
Oh yeah, he's an Inquisitor. Inquisitors are the ones who try trials in this world.
When thieves grabbed Miss Cantabella by the arm, the lantern must have fallen into the mud, correct? Lantern!
Fell into the mud? Why, of course. That makes sense, doesn't it, my little snowy wowie?
Well, what do you say, Inquisitor Barnum? If she was holding the scepter at that time, that would mean when she dropped the lantern, the scepter would have fallen along with it.
What's going on? Inquisitor Barnum seems speechless. You get this one.
The defenders managed to turn things around, even though he's just some baker.
I got this one. No way! Pray the witch's accomplice no heed! They're just trying to trick you! I mean, say what you will. I'm actually seeing, like just a small tinge of what will become, the next guy. What's his name? Sorry, I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of the. Yeah, Van Zieks. I'm seeing a small bit of Van Zieks in Barnum. A small, not a large amount. But, oh, just what is this? Hold it.
What happened, please?
Oh, what do you have to say, Kira?
Come on, please listen. Didn't we all just stand here and explain to the court what we clearly saw? It's a lantern, so what? What's so special about it? Explain to me so I can understand. So that you can understand. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious just by looking at it.
The guy on the left looks like a shady Fire Emblem character. Okay, which left? Left when you're looking at their faces, or left looking at the back of their heads? Because I'm confused. Mr. Wright.
What is it, Sir Darkhat?
I told you it's Mr. Layton. There is something about this witness.
Dots?
Miss Kira, was it? Tell me, Miss Kira, are you the Kira? How good is your eyesight exactly?
Huh?
As you just heard Mr. Wright explain, the answer to your query is quite obvious at a glance. Also, I'm the lawyer now. Phoenix is the assistant. Phoenix, here's a pipe. I was
yeah.
I was half expecting you to immediately go into that bit. But notice there is so many like assistants that they don't have room for Maya anymore.
Yes, but instead we have Layton, who's not stupid.
Tell me, are you able to see the mud present on this lantern?
Mud? What mud? What are you talking about?
Slam! Your Honor, did you hear that just now? Yes, indeed. What does it mean exactly? I think I had a better read on him the last time, but I cannot go back to it. I don't know why. It means Miss Kara's poor eyesight is the reason she cannot see the mud present on this lantern. In other words, the validity of Miss Kira's testimony is questionable at best. Discord did not pick any of that up, by the way.
That's strange.
I heard ah and That's all I heard for the last two lines. Order! Order! Order in the court! What is the meaning of this? Oh, I think that's a little bit closer to what I was. What say you in your defense, witness? I highly recommend you give us nothing but the truth. You see, this is what I mean by he's just trying to do his job. Would Francesca, until the end of the, before the end of the game, actually, grill a witness?
No, because that would mean losing.
Yes. Until the end of the game, would Edgeworth grill a witness?
He Did he grill a witness in one of those cases?
Only because he got tired of the witnesses shit. Like, it took us a while to get there, right? In this one, it's like, oh, we've given evidence that her eyesight can't be trusted. Immediate, hey, witness, tell the fucking truth. Right? Can we not draw swords, my lord? Oh, my word.
I'm sorry, Inquisitor Barnum. It's true. I need to wear glasses all the time, in fact.
You need to wear glasses. Ah, now that you mention it, I did notice something about you today, Missy.
I thought you looked familiar. Gun is the mist that clouded my mind, and its police liberty.
Okay, wordsmith. Fair maiden, a pair of spectacles is as valuable as a shield to a knight. Make haste and produce another pair.
Now then, Miss Kira, tell me, at the time of the incident, were you wearing your glasses?
I know I say this every time, like, some new piece of music comes in, but this music for like, we're grilling a witness, they need to do full orchestras for Phoenix Wrights a lot more often.
Dots? No, I wasn't wearing them.
That man should sort to be that floppy. Yep.
The truth is, I lost my glasses a couple of days ago.
You lost them?
So, her glasses were missing during the time of the incident. I wonder if that means her testimony is compromised.
Mr. Wright, might I recommend that you keep note of this fact? It could prove useful later. Hey, player, this information could be important, player.
Got it.
Our piece of evidence is the lack of evidence, right? I'm just gonna point that out. Inquisitor Barnum. Okay, am I to believe that there is nothing left to prove on this matter? Leighton, hey, who's the assistant baker here, you or me? At the time of the murder, the accused did not have a witch's scepter in her possession.
Hold it!
Hold it! Okay, now that I have a good idea what her voice sounds like, hold it! Wait just a moment. Snowy and I have much more left to say. That's right! My trusty sword of justice shall cut through this witch's treacherous lies.
I may have lost my glasses, but I haven't lost my will to testify. It doesn't matter if you have a will, woman. I'm sorry, did you just eat a flower?
She just ate a flower.
You remember it now. It's a way of sneaking up on me. I'm sure you understand.
Someone please save Snowy. The goat is the goat/sheep is exactly where it should be. Disarm that knight, witch knight.
Yeah, I understand. You're all completely ridiculous.
And this is coming from Phoenix Wright, a person who in his first game freaking questioned a parent. I'm sorry. I don't think there's any world in which a parent's testimony can be considered a part. Could be considered. End of statement.
Testimony, no. Could it be considered as evidence? Probably. No different than a recording.
It would seem we have not arrived. It would seem we have not yet arrived at a clear-cut verdict. Witnesses, you may once again begin to testify to the court. Tell us about the scepter and how it was used in the detestable display of witchcraft that you all witnessed tonight. Do I need to remind you of the radio testimony in the third game? I mean,
second game actually.
It was the second game. It was the second game.
It was last trial.
And honestly, before 2020, that did seem like a little bit much, but after 2020, for basically doing that. Am I wrong, Sandry? Are we basically doing that since 2020? Like, basically rate people?
No, a lot of courts have gone back to in person now.
Yeah, but for a while there.
I mean, yeah, but it was exigencies at the time, not like standard procedure.
True. About the Telea Magica, continued. The girl was not holding the scepter in the same hand as the lantern, which means it must have been in her other hand. Can I just... Where's the picture? Can I have the picture? Where's the picture? The picture shows the bucket was in her other hand, Sandry. Like, can I have the picture as evidence? Sorry, it's just, I saw, like, the immediate contradiction. And it's just, I just want to object right now, Your Honor, the picture.
The accused is holding a milk bucket in the court illustration. Who's to say she wasn't also holding a scepter in that hand?
Howdy. That milk bucket is lighter than it looks. Even Snowy could carry it, so she could have easily held the scepter as well.
I did not see this milk bucket. Everything felt like an illusion.
Okay, I think this is going to be the first one that actually introduces, like, witnesses countering witnesses. I think it's the first one. The scepter was in the other hand, you say. Indeed, such a proposal is feasible. Sir Baker. He said yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor?
It is the strangest thing. The longer the trial goes on, the more you begin to resemble a legitimate defender. Dots. Well, no matter. Defender, you may begin your interrogation. Well, I mean, let's go. Judge, can I take 5 minutes, please? 5 minutes
Did you
for
actually
what?
see that with your own eyes?
Alas, magic's vile embrace hid the scepter from my sight, so I did not see it per se. However, through my years of knightly training, I have learned to see through such cutting trickery.
Is that so?
For example, this morning I found myself unable to locate the whereabouts of my trusty blade. Its location was a mystery. So I tried my hardest to think and remember where I could have kept it last. And before long, behold, it transpired. I was carrying my trusty blade in a scabbard all along. Life is riddled with such trickery. Oh, Maya's back. Hey, I'm here too. Would you say life is riddled with trickery, Nick? With what he's been through, I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, only if we're talking about my life, Maya.
Hold it!
Court illustration. That's right. Judging by the sketch alone, it does look like it. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Are you seeing the same picture I am, Phoenix? What?
Apparently he agrees.
Judging by this sketch alone, it does look possible for her to have held the scepter.
That's what he said.
I'm sorry, just hang on a second.
It's a really good game. I don't know why you'd be upset about missing it.
Hey, It's a good game. However, it does have some Phoenix Wright's occasional just like we've just drank not only the stupid juice, but apparently we've also like had a lobotomy.
No. I think. Okay, not a fan of Layton games, but it is very much a Phoenix Wright game. It's more like a Phoenix Wright game that explores a Layton game. It's more like that.
However, if you actually try holding that thing, you'll notice how thick it is. No way she could have been holding it.
Okay, so it was immediately it could have, but you know, like
it could have if you don't count the fact that that's not what the picture shows in the first place.
yeah. I feel like someone laced the stupid juice with bleach. I don't know about that.
Objection!
Objection. That is nothing more than mere speculation. You cannot say for certain that she was unable to hold it.
Inquisitor, you say it's speculation. I say it's a fact because look at the side. Look at how much of its space is taking up in your hand. Now also hold a fucking milk
Milk
bucket.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dumbass.
As expected, this testimony is filled with nothing but assumptions and conjecture.
Mr. Darkhead.
You know, Mr. Wright. You know, Sir Blue Knight, there does not appear to be any usable evidence present in the court illustration.
I'm sorry, what was that line again? Okay, whatever. Yeah, I agree, and it does look that way. Milk bucket ended up disappearing from the scene.
I might have read that line
Would that
wrong.
actually be an important piece of evidence in itself? Hint, hint.
Hold it!
Just 1 second, Miss Mary.
What is it now? Snow and I don't have all night, you know. Come on, then. Out with it.
I just have a question regarding your testimony. How exactly did you know that the bucket Miss Cantabella was carrying was light enough for Snowy to carry?
I will say you do like... Yeah, the music is fucking spot on. Like I said, they need to do more, like, proper... like, orchestrated music in the series in its entirety. You see, the girl always uses the same bucket whenever she comes to buy milk from us. Naturally, I would have seen that bucket countless times before.
You've seen it countless times before? And that doesn't answer my question. I'll also be right back. I must put this in the fridge.
So, when investigation games... Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Isa. I got an answer for you. When investigation games, Isa? Or... When investigation games? No.
Okay, what, you've seen it countless times before? That doesn't answer my question.
Oh, you already said that. I was doing a bit with Isa where he asked when the investigation games were.
You specifically said that bucket is lighter than it looks.
No, $5 would not change my mind.
Miss Mary, at some point tonight, you must have held that bucket. Held that bucket yourself. So then, please enlighten us as to exactly when you got your hands on the bucket.
Dots? Dots.
Dots!
It's true. By that time, Robs and Mugs had already been burnt to ash. And then I noticed the milk in that bucket and the girl had been holding in her hand.
Milk.
The only innocent person in this room is Snowy. So then, when those two went up in a blaze, Snowy and I made a dash for the bucket. As the girl stood there looking confused, we took the milk from her to make sure it was okay.
I'm sorry, what?
I think I'm having an aneurysm out of sheer stupidity.
Witness. Unbelievable. You.
I believe the line that goes there is, I don't think you're that stupid.
Well, it was just so wasteful. The thought of all that disgusting ash falling into such precious milk. So she took evidence. Yes! Isa, so many... Okay, not the Tele Magica. The Witch's Scepter was found by the old wordsmith. Or, yeah, that guy up there. The guy that's off screen up here. It was found by the wordsmith in the bushes. I felt I just had to protect the milk, so I took the bucket back to the farm with me. Madam, do you mean to tell the court that you took evidence from a crime scene back home with you? That explains why we were unable to locate the milk bucket at the scene. I am Barnum. Oh my, you're scaring poor Snowy! Here! I brought the bucket with me anyway. See? I didn't even tamper with the milk.
I'm sure you didn't.
The court shall accept this milk bucket as evidence.
Looks like it's one more piece of evidence for us.
Now, will the gentleman with the impressive beard proceed with his testimony? I mean, from the judge is like pretty impressive beard. That is an impressive beard. Now to 3D examine.
I believe we
the
now
blue.
hand him a milk bucket.
Okay. You don't want to press him?
Sure, let's press.
Alright. You said you wanted to press everything. So.
You didn't see the bucket. Indeed, naturally there was no way for me noticing the witch before the crime had occurred. My mind was as placid as the most placid of placid lakes.
Ah, wordsmith. Uses the same word 3 times in the sentence.
But like the early bird on its morning hunt for that elusive worm, my senses remain vigilant. You do realize other witnesses have testified to having seen Miss Cantabella carrying that bucket, though, right? And when you have journeyed as far as I have through life, you find all is but an illusion. It is, of course, except for Lord Storyteller, of course.
Dots. And loop. Yes, Maya, we got a milk bucket. No, you can't have it.
Objection!
Wordsmith needs help. That much is certain.
All of your testimonies have come to the same conclusion. The scepter was not in her right hand with the lantern. Therefore, it must have been in the other hand, the one that was holding the bucket.
Oh.
However, that's not it. Not by a long shot. This doesn't feel like it's...
Hold on a second.
It's not that he's wrong to be saying this. It doesn't feel like it's linked to that piece of evidence in this bit of testimony.
All right, Sandry. I missed my opportunity, but I have to take it now. So, I just presented the bucket, right?
This is a bucket.
Dear God.
There's more.
No.
It contains the dying wish of every man here.
Sorry, I just had to. Oh, God. I just had to, because that just popped into my mind. I missed my opportunity, and I still wanted to take it. It's worse in the investigations. John will play. All right, Isa. Not only are you going to have...
Speaking of... Sorry, John,
Yeah.
Just speaking of milk, I noticed the impressive milkers on that background of yours.
Yes. It's a Dota 2 background. I used to be a fan. I didn't take it out of my image rotation. Why? Do you want to see it again? Like all it is?
No, it just seemed on point.
Sure. Yeah, it's a Dota 2 background. Used to be a fan of the game, but Dota, I have problems with Dota overall. It's no. Basically that style of game. I've just grown to hate it. Anywho, however, that's not by a long shot, he says. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bucket. Dear God. What do you mean?
Contrary to what one of the witnesses stated, the milk bucket was in fact at the crime scene. You'll also notice something about this bucket. Take another look at the court illustration. Something about this bucket seems a bit odd, wouldn't you say?
Objection.
Objection. This illustration was based off of eyewitnesses' accounts, so a small discrepancy or two is conceivable.
Objection.
Actually, Mr. Barnum, it's highly likely that this illustration is much less accurate than you think. In fact, there's a blatant contradiction present in this illustration. Admittedly, it does at first look possible in some alternate reality where physics don't matter, that Miss Candabella was holding the scepter and the bucket at the same time. However, if you look at the real milk bucket, that possibility goes up in smoke. Here, let's have a look at the real deal. Notice the handle.
That cannot be!
That's right, dumbass. This particular milk bucket has two pieces of wood on either side of the handle. If you were trying to hold both the scepter and this bucket, well, let's just say it'd be a challenge, to put it simply. There's no way anyone could hold both the bucket and the scepter at once.
What? What?
It must mean you clearly have the wrong bucket.
This is skill with you, Phoenix. We never lie when it comes to milk. That's the very bucket I took.
Stop it! Looks like the witnesses are as surprised about this as Varnum. The defendant couldn't have been able to hold the bucket in the scepter at once. Also, we've already established that she was not holding a scepter in the other hand. Therefore, the defendant, Miss Cantabella, was not holding a witch's scepter at any point during the incident.
Order.
Of course, that just means that she's innovated a new way of doing witchcraft where she doesn't have to hold the scepter, right?
No. Order, order. I said order! Just what is the meaning of this? In all my days as a judge of this court, I have never heard such an argument. These are but a paltry set of words, and yet they ring with such remarkable strength. Your Honor, I'm here to take credit. What you just heard was logic.
Oh fuck, it is Edward.
No, I am Barnum. Logic, you say? Oh, what's with these two?
They just silenced Inquisitor Barnum with mere one.
Such foolishness. This must be some kind of witchcraft.
Wait, you think?
I think this will be the same guy.
Could they be witches?
Oh, okay. It would seem that the concept of logic does not exist in this world.
Right. Then let's take this chance to knock their case down by a peg or two. I'm worried if we keep this up, we'll all be joining Isabella in a one-way trip to the flame.
Objection!
Objection?
Okay, dude.
I dabbed on your face and slammed the desk. Take that. I mean,
Okay, my man.
that is
You
what that
have-
animation kind of looks like. It looks like he dabbed and then slammed the desk. The correct term would be warlock. Most intriguing. A knight allows his sword to speak for him during battle. You have spoken with a sword of words. So be it. I too shall wield such a blade.
Why do you have your real sword? Oh, yes, whatever. What do you mean?
Sir Blue Knight, there appears to be a hole in this logic of yours.
A hole. I'm sorry. I'm just doing Phoenix is not in any my Phoenix is not in any way at this point shocked by a prosecutor doing. I found a hole in your argument. Look at this thing that I've revealed. You know, he's just like, yep, a hole. What now?
According to the earlier testimony, it was believed the accused had the lantern hanging from her wrist by the handle. However, she supposedly dropped it, hence it being covered in mud.
Okay, what insanity do you have for me instead?
While that may be true, it does not necessarily mean the accused was therefore unable to use magic.
I'm sorry.
It is merely a question of when she dropped the witch's scepter. What do you mean, Inquisitor Barnum? It is very simple, my lord. The accused, while first holding the lantern and the witch's scepter, cast her magic. Then she dropped both the lantern and the scepter. Ah. The witch's scepter was dropped after the spell was cast. Of course. Yes, that must be it. What say you, Sir Blue Knight? That is but a taste of the nightly knowledge of the Inquisition.
Wow, Sir Barnum cut through that baker's witchery like a hot knife through butter.
Exemplary! I expected nothing less from the hand of Barnum!
Ooh, to be able to shake that powerful hand someday.
Barnham! Barnham!
I believe that's called a country ham?
That Inquisitor isn't quite what he first appeared.
Actually, he's exactly what he first appeared to be. You just don't have experience with with prosecutors.
Say what you will. Good music, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Phoenix is just like he's exactly what he appears to be. He's a prosecutor he's a prosecutor trying to prosecute one of my clients. This is normal. This is absolutely normal. I don't know why you're acting so surprised. Just a moment ago, it seemed like he never even heard of a logical debate. Now he's suddenly using it against us. Maya?
Yes.
How does this keep fucking happening?
I don't know. It's weird to me. Maya walks over to Barnum. So he's wondering why you're doing this to him, okay?
Guy is about normal, that's for sure.
Dabbed and slammed. Now then, most honorable witnesses, I ask you lend us your aid once more. Dots!
Good.
I request that you all stop saying dots and testify to the court once more. Tell us which occurred first, the dropping of the lantern or the casting of the spell. Witnesses, you may now begin your testimonies. If I ever see a trial like this in your game on Saturday, I tried twice to make that game go to a trial. You guys did not seem interested.
That's because our lawyer wasn't a lawyer who was interested in lawyering.
Yeah. I mean, they were subtle, but it didn't seem like the game. Like, you gotta keep in mind, it's a collective game, so like, if enough people like try to make it go the other way, like, I don't want to push something just because I want to push something, right? So, you know.
Besides, Agatha probably would have just killed the prosecutor.
The moment he says, I found the flaw in your testimony, you just death beam. In your own words. Oh, okay. Tell us, according to your own words, what the secret of events which transpired tonight. I mean, so I get what they're saying here. So Barnum is trying to say, no, the scepter was indeed in her right hand, but the order of spell to lantern dropping changes whether she had the, you know, like by the time the picture matters if she had the scepter in her hands, I guess, right? I guess that's what they're saying. So that's where we're going with this. Anyway, about the sequence of events.
Of course, the lantern fell to the ground after the incantation Ignace was splooshed.
Gotta give him that, he's trying. I'm as sure as Snowy is white. I made certain to keep my eyes peeled to that milk bucket, after all.
I'm sorry. What? That... the past one and this one, but especially the past one, which she's like, I mean, sure, you know, I'm sure, but what are you sure about? You didn't testify about anything. Besides, how can you be sure the lantern fell just because it has a little mud on it?
Kira.
I...
Oh, you did say it. Okay, I didn't actually read what was being said. Like, I thought that was a part of your, I thought that was a part of your rant.
No, I am... No.
These eyes do not lie. We saw the lantern with the accused hands when the incantation was uttered.
Figures. Their testimonies are all over the place now.
These 4 testimonies, they are most interesting. The witnesses we all saw the same thing. The witnesses all saw the same thing, and yet people's memories are evidently quite fickle. They can never be a truly reliable source.
Well then, Professor, with enough poking and prodding, I bet we can really cause their testimonies to crumble.
Luke,
Luke's
player,
angry.
player, press them. Hey, player, press them.
Look at Luke's like just angry face. He's like, haha, I have an evil scheme.
Yeah, but he's
Professor, I have an evil scheme, Professor. We're gonna cause them to kill each other over their dispute.
But like, this is what he's saying. He's like, hey, player, press them. Hey, player, if you press them, maybe you'll get something.
Of course, we need to exploit their fickle memories to turn this thing around.
Oh my god, I'm here. We've got this, Nick. We'll press them so hard they won't even remember what they had for breakfast. Hey, player, do you remember pressing?
I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. Did I have breakfast today?
You had bread for breakfast. Dots.
You're probably right.
Now, Sir Baker, you may begin your interrogation.
Hold it!
The lantern fell after the incantation. Are you positive about that? I see, I am positively positive that I am positive. I heard your voice and then sploosh.
Sploosh.
That sploosh. Was that the sound of a lantern hitting the ground?
Sploosh.
Indeed. But of course, do you see?
No.
But if you look at the lantern, you'll notice that the glass is shattered. Sorry, is shattered. You specifically said you heard a sploosh. Couldn't you have heard the sound of glass shattering when it hit the ground? The sound of glass shattering? I'm afraid I failed to catch your drift.
Yep, okay, this is the tutorial that you gotta use witnesses to counter witnesses. He does look at the guy running the cannon shop in Wind Waker. Yes, that is exactly who I'm referencing.
I was president in an area a bit further away from the crime scene, you see. I have no recollection of hearing such a sound. No recollection? Faithfully food. I'll have you know, I can easily hear a dog barking across town. Do not underestimate my hearing. I wasn't. Chill out, dude.
Ah, there is nothing of interest in this testimony. Will the witness with the goat please proceed with their testimony? Huh? Right, you mean us? You startled us, didn't she, Snowy? Bah. This is the press all when we get tutorial, I think. So
Probably, yeah.
we got to press them all.
But earlier, you stated that Miss Cantabella had the lantern hanging around her wrist.
Has amazing hearing. That's clearly witchcraft, Your Honor. Well, not quite. We didn't say for certain. We only believed it was on her wrist.
Believed.
I believe. Okay. That sentence... I had to, like, think about that sentence twice over, because, you know when you sniff milk, my brain immediately shut down. I was like, why are you just huffing milk up your nose? Like, my brain just immediately shut down when I saw that, and I did not read the rest of it. Okay,
Tell me you do drugs without telling me you do drugs.
I don't. Yes, precisely. You know how you sniff milk when you're not quite sure if it's gone bad? And then your nose is assaulted by that foul odor you weren't expecting? Well, it's a bit like that. Heed my words, madame. Do not make a habit of stealing for your own safety. We said we're sorry. Please, it's all Snowy's fault. Bah.
Oh, brother.
Anyway, we cannot confidently say that we saw the milk bucket, right? Right, Precious? And as far as the lantern falling, we do not know about that. Do we now, Schnookums?
Hold it!
Oh, me. Well, maybe the mud was already on the lantern before any of this happened. Did you ever think of that? Did you, dummy? Or any of this... Like maybe it's been there since last week. It did rain last week, too, after all. And if that's the case, then there really isn't any point in arguing about whether or not you dropped the lantern, right?
Says the far-sighted girl who lost her glasses. Hold on a second. I'm trying to remember.
Nearsighted, actually.
No, I think she actually is far-sighted.
Was she too close to the incident then? I mean, technically she was.
No, I think it is. I think it's generic. She can't see where shit syndrome. It doesn't matter if it's near or farsighted in this case. Because if she was farsighted, then they wouldn't be a blur. Wait, she was not the one who said they were a blur? It was the other guy, right? It was the. It was the
no,
night.
she admitted that she hadn't had her glasses, which was only relevant if she was having trouble seeing.
I think she is farsighted specifically, just because I know something that happens later.
I mean, because the reason she was having trouble describing things accurately is because she was right up close there casting a spell.
I won't say more. I think I already spoiled it. Huh. Indeed. What say you, Defender?
I say, take a closer look at the lantern. You'll notice there's mud on the glass. Mud on the glass? The lantern wouldn't be very useful with all that mud blocking out the light. Miss Kira. I see your little theory regarding this lantern is muddy at best.
I get it!
Good pointed witnesses till the cows come home. This is fun. Well, that wouldn't turn the testimony into anything I could use. Got to find a lead somewhere.
Magic isn't real, but my Molotov says ignite us. These eyes do not lie.
This is important. Are you sure you really saw that lantern?
You are but a petty baker, are you not? It is not your place to be telling me what is important. There is but one thing of importance. Ridding this town of witches as quickly as possible.
Objection!
Hardly. I'd say this is far more important.
What?
We're trying to find out the truth here.
Dots. How absurd! That girl's a witch, I say. A witch! I would sink my entrance into the Knights of the Inquisition on it. Oh boy. I've got a... Listen well, whelp. Dots. Yes, Sir Barnum. Many young men with the ranks of the knighthood share your level of passion. However, you let your ambition completely blind you, the same way that a muddy lantern leaves one blind and helpless in the dark.
Oh, what?
This guy.
Yes, indeed. I'd say he's quite a tough motivator. Loop! Okay,
I think
no,
it may be
not,
something I can use.
yeah, not loop in the tutorial. Sorry, I thought we were back into loop. Really? Wow. I didn't hear anything special.
There's definitely something out of place about that one witness's testimony. There's something I haven't noticed from any of the other witnesses so far.
It appears you may have found something, Mr. Wright.
A 4-witness cross-examination. It's something I've never done before.
Did somebody say tutorial? Yeah, okay.
Then, maybe there's another way I should be tackling this.
I believe it is worth trusting that intuition, Mr. Wright.
Okay, I got it. Alright, let's try pressing that old man one more time.
I don't want to hear about you pressing an old man, okay?
That's how you get old
Hold
oil.
it.
Let's just skip to the part where she... because it's the same words.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. This line.
You seem to be glistening. No, I'm afraid I failed to catch your drift.
Hold it.
There it is. Right there. I knew I heard something strange.
Please, we're in court, not your bakery. Huh? But old Greybeard didn't say anything weird.
Yeah, it's not the old guy that said something weird.
Oh,
It's the one with the thought bubble over her head.
oh, what was it? Me? I'm sorry. I have loud thoughts all the time.
I'm aware. You're not thinking, Maya. You're just speaking.
Hi, I'm Maya.
Is the person next to him? Sorry, next to him.
Next to him? No, I'm not next to him.
Look, that's the goat lady. She looks really deep in thought.
It would seem she has noticed something odd in this her elderly gentleman's testimony. Ah! That's right. These cross-examinations have 4 witnesses. Hey, Nick, it looks like we're not the only ones paying attention to these testimonies. I guess that implies, before you say this line,
If they're all listening to each other's testimonies.
I love how that implies that both the Inquisitor and the judge are not listening to the testimonies. It is literally just them. And they go, oh, did something interesting happen? Correct, Mr. Wright. Each witness is fully aware of themselves and their own actions within the middle of their own testimonies. However, it is while listening to the testimonies of others that the witness may sometimes reveal the most valuable information.
See, it's habitual. I can't tell they're doing it, but I can. And I'm going to use it to turn the tide back in our favor.
In fact, I do believe that I may have spotted our first opening in which to test this new technique. Mr. Wright, could I draw your attention to the touchscreen tutorial? Tutorial. Okay.
Isn't the witness that's in mid testimony? It is isn't.
I did skip like the first part of the sentence. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Okay, because I was like, that's not the start of the sentence.
Yeah, I did.
The
skip
witnesses that's in mid testimony. It's the other 3 witnesses listening. just a matter of catching them off guard and questioning that.
What are you waiting for, Nick? Let's give it a shot. Boy, it's sure glad this whole time we've been talking amongst each other, the old man or the lady haven't changed anything about what they said. How about try questioning the goat lady next to the old graybeard?
Be careful, he might have a thum. This seemed to the shittering deal with feet. I feel kitchen.
Question.
Hang on!
Hang on!
Excuse me, Ms. Mary.
Oh! Do you mean us?
No, I mean the other Miss Mary.
But Snowy and I had nothing left to say. Mary had a little lamb. Mary had a little goat. Okay. That's why she's named Mary. I just fucking like...
Did you not
No!
realize that
This
a while
entire
ago?
time! No, I didn't! No, I didn't. Miss Mary was my husband's
I
name.
caught her completely by surprise. Mr. Wordsmith just gave his testimony. He told us all about the sound he heard when the lantern fell to the ground. Mr. Wordsmith didn't seem too sure, but I wonder if you might happen to have something to say about this?
Huh? Well, that's... Dots? Oh, is that all right, Sir Barnum? May we answer the question? Dots. Do what you will, madam. There's no need for formalities.
Huh?
Let's try to explain, won't we, Snowy? The truth is, we did hear something. That is to say, we heard the sound of the lantern's glass shattering. We're sure of it. It was frighteningly loud.
Ah.
It quite startled us, didn't it? Snowy dear. I looked in the direction of the sound, but I couldn't see anything, let alone the girl or those two thieves. It's a tad dark, after all. When the glass shattered, the flame inside must have gone out. Hence, she could not see them. That seems to be the gist of it. Then as I peered into the darkness, I heard it.
You heard it? What exactly did you hear?
You know, that! I heard... the incantation for the spell Ignaze.
Dots.
Dots. Dots. Dots. Can I stop doing dots? What? I am Bonham. What did you just say? Now. Hold it right there, witness. Yes, my lord! The glass shattered when the lantern fell, and then after that you heard the incantation of the spell Ignaze. Yeah, the judge is not dumb. The judge and inquisitor are not dumb, they're just, like, not used to having to actually argue their cases. Do you swear to this court that this is without a doubt correct? Yes, maybe, I think.
Admit my testimony. What is my oratorical observation? The blessed Ignaze occurred first, then the lantern plummeted to the ground. I heard no such thing. There was no sound of shattering glass.
Absurd! Simply absurd! So the lantern fell and the glass shattered. That doesn't change the very fact that this girl is a witch.
Objection!
You're all fucking morons. I hate to disappoint you, but that's not quite the case. In fact, this testimony changes things rather a lot. Wouldn't you agree, Inquisitor Barnum?
Dots. What's the... no, wait, no, I mixed it up with the soldier. What's the meaning of this?
Let's go over what we know so far. In order for a witch to use any magic, they must be holding a witch's scepter. And yet, none of the 4 witches saw the defendant holding a scepter of any kind.
That's because the scepter was made to disappear with the spell Demir, correct?
At the time of the crime, the 2 victims grabbed Miss Cantabella's arm, causing her to drop the lantern to the ground. We had agreement there? If, at the time, she was in fact holding an invisible scepter, then the scepter must have fallen when she dropped the lantern. Now, let's say, hypothetically, that Miss Cantabella really is a witch. In order to use any magic, she would have had to recite the spell before dropping the scepter. However, as our witness Miss Mary has just given her testimony, she heard the incantation for Ignace after hearing the lantern's glass shatter.
Ah! What?
Ew. You do all understand what that means, don't you? It means that Miss Cantabella, the supposed witch you locked up, could not possibly have cast any magic. Slap. Therefore, the defendant, Miss Cantabella, is clearly in no way, shape, or form a witch.
I forgot he rocketed off like that.
Do you realize what you're insinuating? Do you really think she's going to reach?
Such nonsense. Didn't you listen to my testimony?
You did, but you're wrong. There was no glass shattering.
Are you calling me a liar, Missy? You couldn't even see the mud on the lantern when it was plain as day. The way he's shaped, how is that not witchcraft? What ridiculous claims, all of you!
Oh, hush. Get your little toy sword and go back to playing pretend, Sir Knight.
Dab and slam!
Come on. Yee. Ah.
Ah, whoa, whoa.
Like, shut the fuck up,
I
all
am
of you.
Barnum. Witnesses, this is a court of law, not the playground. Must I remind you of the importance of these proceedings? Witches and their magic threaten our fair town of Labyrinthia. Your words here today could decide the fate of every single citizen within our walls. Do you understand? As such, I expect each of you to take your role seriously and testify honestly about what you saw. Dots.
Yeet. Dots.
Ellipses! This is the audience, so...
Oh.
Ellipses?
Dots.
In all my days as a judge of this court, I have never seen such behavior. Behavior that leads a cloud of doubt over the credibility of each of your testimonies. I am Bottom. Indeed, my lord. Quite a miserable set of witnesses, this lot. Huh. I see. It would appear this trial has come to a sudden halt.
Huh? So that must mean...
Quite right. It means you have won this trial, Mr. Wright.
I don't know I'd go so far, Mr. Layton. I know how my life goes. I haven't given them the criminal yet, so my client is still going to get burned alive if I don't figure this out. So, can you stop celebrating and help me figure out who the fuck actually did this shit?
The judge is about to pronounce her free. I don't know if you're paying attention here. I can hardly believe the situation we have found ourselves in. I did not anticipate this trial ending with such a strange turn of events. But due to these witnesses' dubious credibility, I could see no reason to continue. What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? Dots. As you wish, my lord.
Wait, what? What?
Yes!
This doesn't feel real.
What is going on?
We're going to get fucked on this. We're going to get fucked on this.
Okay, I guess I'll take the second one. They're actually gonna let this witch run free through the town?
Curses! If it wasn't for that witch and her friend.
Hold it!
Oh, that's actually the sound of this guy's voice. What? Oh, it's this guy! Oh!
Second, this trial ain't even close to being over.
Oh, I fucking hate and love this guy. And I cannot do his voice justice. Because I can't really do a... I can't really do a drunkard's voice because I don't know. Like, I mean, it's probably me, right, Sandry? Unless you really want this guy.
No, you can have him.
All right, here we go. I'm some guy.
Not before I take the stand to testify. Order! Order! Who is this buffoon? Behold! Who am I, you ask? Who am I? Why?
So he's this character right here. Am I right?
I'm the man that's gonna single-handedly save this trial. I'm the fifth witness.
Clearly, this man gets all the
Something got knocked over. What's going on?
Wait, what did you say? You blacked out? I'm just gonna just in case take a couple of screenshots of this scene right here.
Say what? What? Even Barnum didn't see this one coming.
Just as I thought. This trial was going down the drain before I got here. Oh, yeah. So, okay, you want assemble. We need a strategy meeting ASAP.
EC, who are you?
Thank goodness you showed up.
You can't give up now, everyone.
I can't help but to feel I'm a little bit superfluous. We have two grunting characters in this one, but okay. It's come down to this. 2 arms, everyone. We should do battle against that baker and that hat seller.
Yep, this feels about right for my life.
Truly fascinating. It seems a new drunkard has taken the stand. What's more, he appears to be quite a formidable witness.
Like I said, it's normal story of my life.
Just gonna take a couple of screenshots of that.
Leighton, you need to stop. You could have just not celebrated and let them do their thing, but you had to gloat, you fucking moron. Now
He didn't
now
gloat!
we're stuck with this man.
He wasn't saying anything! Alright, because I'm probably going to want to grab a screenshot, I'm actually going to copy the save file too.
Cool. This is absolutely a good moment for me to step away for just a second. Or it would have been.
Oh, sorry. Well, if you want to step away for a second, I need a moment. I need a moment to rest my voice after suddenly getting another gruff character. Okay. Okay. Let me go grab some real quick. Turn. It's bag of tricks. Look, Phoenix, you got a fellow tavern goer. He's like, as much as I would love to do a full-on like crazy Phoenix Wright style thing, I don't think I could pull it off because Phoenix Wright is just the writing is just so crazy compared to where I land a lot of the time. So. So that's where we're at. Let me take a sip. Yeah, not with that attitude. I mean, okay. If I had at least...
Hand back, what's going on?
If I had at least... I'm talking with Isa about the potentiality of, like, making this, actually role-playing a trial. Phoenix Wright style trial. I'm like, okay, you say not with that attitude. I would have to have at least 2 or 3 people who come to session solely to be the characters and improvise the shit out of everything that happens. Because... Just the switching between people, the pulling batshit crazy shit out of nowhere. Like, there is absolutely no world in which I, John, could in the middle of an RP session think, oh, this trial needs some drunkard coming out of nowhere going, I'm the 5th witness. There is absolutely no world in which I could do that. Like, I would have to basically halfway be improvised, like half improvised, half scripted, and I would need, like, beyond player characters, 2 or 3 people just to be able to be the crazy ass people I am improvising with. Like, that's what it would require for me to do anything close to Phoenix Wright level trials, okay? I know my limits.
Those are complicated things that involve lots of people.
Yeah, I know my limits. I know I don't like talking to myself. Like, you'll notice I try to drop characters out of scenes, so that way the group is only talking like at least at most 1 or 2 characters. And that's just a limit of, I don't like talking to myself. I don't think it's interesting for player characters to sit there and watch me deliberate something with myself. I don't know what else to add here. Like, I mean, I think that's a pretty healthy thing to, like, take from role-playing games, right? Like, agree or disagree, Sandry?
What, talking to yourself is boring?
Well, talking to myself doesn't really add anything. All you're seeing is just basically either me improvising with myself, because I didn't plan on characters to talk to, like, my own characters to talk to my own characters, at least on screen, right? Or it's just me, like, running through a script. Like, it doesn't really feel as much as like I'm involving the players. And that's why I would say I would have to have like 2 or 3 people to, like, be crazy people that I have to, like, that I use also for, like, role-playing off of, right? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I try to avoid, at least when we're playing role-playing games, scenes where I'm talking to myself. Because, I don't know. Do you agree that it feels weird if I do too many of those scenes?
Generally, yes.
It's gonna judge skill issue, but not the point. Didn't have to be chaotic, but you know your limits. You can just say after spending 40 seconds bickering to add to the scene. Maybe once in a blue moon. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. Uh, I am the judge. Order! Order! Well then, we will now continue with the trial of Aspella Cantabella.
Oh boy. Group of witnesses huddling up before joint testimony in the witch trial. Okay, I will grant my life has taken an unexpected twist. That part was unexpected. The new witness not so much. The joint huddle beforehand, that was a little strange.
And the judge was seriously about to say, well, the trial can't continue. We pronounce her not guilty, right? Like, I think that's what the judge was about to say. Am I wrong here?
And I think my Phoenix was actually right to be like, there's no way that we're done here. I know my life. Fuck you know, Leighton was like, we've won, and Phoenix was like, we have not fucking won yet. We have not. You are way ahead of yourself right now.
Inquisitor Barnum, if I may ask you a question. Yes, my lord. We now have 5 witnesses on the stand, so I must ask, why was this obnoxious-looking man left out of your initial group of witnesses?
Baldy's right, Barnum. It's just cold-blooded.
There is but one reason, my lord. I did not know this witness even existed. Damn it. I'm grabbing some chips because I want to, like, get some calories in me before it gets super late, but I'm not going to have a break in my...
Okay.
You, sir, failed to come forward. When we were asking for witnesses at this very trial, you were nowhere to be seen.
That's because I didn't hear a peep about it. I ain't usually around at night, except for maybe at the Rogues Tavern.
She's basically telling us we were up all night drinking.
Anyway, it's all wonder under the bridge now. As far as I'm concerned, just leave the rest of yours truly.
During the last interrogation, the defender brought forward some surprising proof. Namely, that there was a little possibility the accused could have used magic. I have never heard such a claim. It must be the doing of this logic. Wait, no, they should pronounce it weird. It must be the doing of this logic.
Huh, what rubbish? Logic, you say? Ain't got a clue what that is.
Logic, you say, ain't got a clue what that is. This is basically these games in a nutshell, am I right?
I mean, I wish you'd got... Can you please make sure to get a screenshot of that for me when you go back and get screenshots?
Okay.
But I do know that this bread-making baker ought to head to the bakery.
Eloquently put, dumbass.
Oi, Gramps, give me and the patrons over here a chance to speak. You want to know how this witch managed to be holding that scepter, don't you?
Certainly wish my girlfriends were hotter than you.
When you say Gramps, you wouldn't mean me, would you?
I failed to see anyone else meeting such a description.
You failed to see anyone then.
I told you my ass is not this. No, we'll show you she's a witch.
Out that Snowy's beautiful white coat on it.
On guard! All right, team. Let's do this, witnesses.
Did they just call me a hoe?
Yes, Your Honor. They have referred to you as a Lady of the Night.
Yes. Well, let's proceed with the
I,
testimony.
for one, don't judge you. No, no, nope. I'm not saying that because this is par for the course for Phoenix. He's just like, yep. The world is not following the rules. That's yep. Someone has just changed the rules on me. That's what happens. It's clear. I'm sorry. It's clear as day. As spell as a witch. We're not backing down on this. When she dropped the lantern, the scepter was not yet in her hands? Huh?
Okay.
This is definitely...
The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back. I gotta find a way to differentiate this guy and the drunkard.
The rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter. That's easy. The girl just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the witch's magic stick.
So, she had the witch's scepter behind her back, and then dropped the lantern and reached for the scepter after it fell. If that's the case, then it must have been possible for the accused to have used magic.
Your Honor, I say this out of token protest, but the witnesses have changed their stories for a third time. I think we're still stuck at the dubious witnesses situation. Also, she did that with which of the hands that was being gripped by an assailant? Because I believe, according to the court illustration described by the witnesses, both of her arms were being restrained. She reached behind her back with one of the restrained arms, pulled out the staff, and cast magic.
I was just checking something. See if we actually finally got the damn picture as a part of
No,
our
no, we
evidence.
didn't.
Are you gonna say this is bad, or am I going to continue here?
This is normal. Thanks to the usual surprise witness, everyone seems determined to just make shit up. Half of them aren't even testifying.
They each harbor a shared anger towards witches and magic. Such is the cause of their strong desire to see a guilty verdict passed as quickly as possible. However, such confidence is undoubtedly bound to cloud their better judgment and thinking.
Yeah. Been there, done that. They don't need to, I don't think they necessarily need any real harm, but they're going to get my client killed because they're fucking stupid. Like, they now all settled on an agreed upon version, but, like, I'm fairly certain that if I give them just a few moments of talking, these fuckwads will start fighting again because none of them actually remember what happened very clearly. Because eyewitness testimony is incredibly unreliable.
True.
But we are relying on an Anglo-American system where eyewitness testimony is the preferred solution.
Hey,
But the fact that eyewitnesses are really, really bad at remembering shit.
okay, justice can be fair for the defense. Yes.
What?
That's what Isa said. That old guy with the beard was worrying to see motioning like that. The old guy with the beard took off like a rocket earlier in this game.
Less like a rocket and more like a popped balloon. Not a pop balloon, rather a balloon where you like untied the knot at the end, because it was just kind of whizzing back and forth. Also, hey, QB. This isn't good, Professor. The witnesses aren't thinking straight. They're completely blind to the truth.
So now QB and Isa can have a conversation between YouTube and Twitch. I'm just gonna point that out.
Can they actually see each other's discussions?
Look at stream. Look at the left side of
Yeah.
stream. Look.
Yeah, no, okay. I was just checking to make sure that yes. Okay, cool.
He erupted like a rocket earlier. Sir Baker. Rather, Sir Wright.
Okay, this is actually a pleasant surprise. Yes, Your Honor?
You do not appear to be a mere simple baker. That much is clear. On the
I'm
other
a mediocre
hand,
baker.
On the other hand, you are no ordinary defender either.
Well, yes, I'm under the impression that my job is to actually, you know, do my job, not just be like, well, I guess my client's guilty. Please burn her quickly.
Never before has a defender managed to clash and do battle with me here, on this battlefield as an equal. You can also just go to YouTube.
Dots.
Sir Blue Knight, this trial has not yet been decided.
And that's true, at least.
If there is any doubt in your interrogation, I would not hesitate to strike your case down where it stands.
Maya, can you tell me something? Do you have shoved somewhere like under your skirt or something, just a revolver? I would really like a revolver right
I
now.
have this pipe, Nick!
Not on me, you stupid cow.
Oh, sorry, I got nothing. Puts away the pipe.
I understand, you fucking asshole.
Defender, please begin your interrogation. Oh, I have a feeling this is push all and find one of them to start contradicting themselves.
Probably.
Hold it!
Not backing down, you said. Uh-huh, that's right. This fella's a witch. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. Oh, no.
It doesn't really surprise you every
Courtroom,
time.
Miss Kira. We're not interested in your story. We're interested in the truth. Dots. You know what I think?
No.
I think you've been bewitched. I think she's got you under a spell. I think stories have the power to touch our lives in really meaningful ways. Yes, like getting my client set on fire because you haven't told us the fucking truth, you stupid... Where are you going with this? Last year I read a book about a flower girl who brought peace to the world with all the pretty flowers she sold. Unlike me, I just sell my body.
It's interesting that she's saying this because the concept of the world is limited solely to Labyrinthia. Like, these guys,
Also,
as far
again,
as...
I'm compelled to point out that the flower girl in this context is clearly a hooker. Because of that story, now I tell myself, Kira, one day you'll fill the world with beautiful flowers of your own. Wait. That story inspires me to sell more flowers on my back. It's pretty much the same as this trial, except I'm standing.
Must be a special market for special flowers. I'm guessing Mistress Mercy is QB, but I could be wrong here. I'm just using
sure hope
context
so.
clues.
Yep. I can see the context clue that you've got going on there, John.
What a very touching story. Indeed. I would have heard nary a truer tale. Wouldn't you agree, Sir Blue Knight?
No. I would have preferred something a little more relevant, actually, but also, no, I've not heard. I have heard truer tales regularly.
I'm afraid our logic may do us no good here. Shall we move on to the next witness, shall we? Nope.
It's me kidding you.
Hold it!
No matter how many times we ask, you still say you didn't see the scepter, huh, Gramps? Excuse me. Were you paying attention to this trail? Yes. Well then, magic made the scepter invisible, did it not? This, my old age clouding up my vision, has nothing to do with anything. The scepter actually finished. No, what I'm saying is if it was really invisible, you wouldn't be able to actually prove it. Not so, young one. We can prove it. The girl is a witch. There's your proof.
You know, I've been avoiding saying this just because it invites so much like unwarranted criticism. Welcome to the argument that all Trump lawyers use.
In my old age, clouding up my memories has nothing to do with it either. The scepter magically finished, you see? Okay, we get it. You've got nothing other than your assertions. Understood.
When the lantern fell, you claimed the scepter was not in her hand yet. So that means...
Hold it!
The witch's scepter was behind her back.
Well, it's like my little snowflake here. My little snowy wowie. Whenever my darling gets too heavy, I hoist him up and carry him on my back.
You mean your baby goat, right?
Yes, yes. There isn't a cuter little goat in this entire courtroom. Right, precious?
Bah!
I mean, how many goats? Anyway, whatever. I know it's sort of an ass, but you didn't see the witch's scepter, did you?
Well, no, but it must have been made invisible by magic and put on her back. You know, Stowie's such a tiny little thing. If I put him on my back, you can hardly see him.
I hardly see the point of that comment.
Isa's here and he's contesting for the title of cutest goat. Isa might have gone AFK. He hasn't responded in a while. So, the accused grabbed the witch's scepter after the lantern fell. Right, what did I do for this guy? I gave him a little bit of a dude bro, didn't I? Oh.
Hold it!
Are you all right there?
Ooh, what? Why?
For one thing, you're cowering behind what I assume is a shield.
Well played, Sir Blue Knight. You managed to see through my steel guard technique. Yep, dude, bro, makes a lot of sense now.
I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure that's made of wood. Is it magically enhanced wood that's as hard as steel?
You tried to penetrate my depths of my mind and deceive me once with your witchcraft of words. But you will find your words are futile against the strength of my shield, crafted from wood harder than steel. Now then, at you. Attack me if you dare.
Okay, so Barnum, he's clearly engaged in witchery himself because he has a magic shield. Burn him first, and then we'll deal with the rest, okay? But, obviously, you're not going to listen to anything as simple as that. Listen to me for a second, you slithering fool. No, not you, Your Honor.
Looking at this sketch, it is quite clear the accused could not have held the scepter in the same hand carrying the lantern. Witness, Explain to the court just how the accused held the scepter.
Oh, all right. It's the drunk guy.
Hold it!
She put the milk bucket down.
That's right. Reckon if she did that, she'd have no problem holding that thing.
Objection!
None of the other witnesses said anything about seeing her put the bucket down.
But no one said anything about not seeing her put the bucket down either, right?
So, everybody has something to say. Who do you want to talk to first?
It's dirt from the lift.
Okie dokie.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Mr. Old Gramps person? What is it? Boisterous blue one? Tell me, what do you make of this witness's testimony just now? He stated that the defendant has put the bucket on the ground. You never mentioned that. Let me tell you something, young man. Long have I lived in Preston. In that time, I have forgotten much. Dreams, aspirations, even love. I simply forgot about that milk bucket. Like one would forget about a single drop of water within the bucket that is life.
I think that this is... Okay, I think that's a hint that we gotta actually talk to her. Because, she's the one who would remember everything about the bucket.
Also fair. No. Thank you for that, dumbass. Next.
I still don't understand a single word that comes out of his mouth, Nick.
You're not missing much, Maya.
Hold it!
Let's not bother reading him. We're just going to the point where everybody is like, what the hell did he just say? Alright. Do you want to skip to the obvious one?
Sure.
Alright.
Hang on!
Excuse me. Miss Mary?
Insert Homestuck joke about buckets and milking. I already did the, when we presented the bucket as a piece of evidence, I missed it, but like a couple statements later, I realized what I should have done, and I went ahead and brought up the TF2. Gentlemen, this is a bucket. Dear God, there's more. No! Huh? You mean Snowy and me?
Tell me, what do you think of the witness's testimony just now? The accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one said anything about that until now.
That must be how it happened. The girl probably placed the milk bucket on the ground, yes.
Objection!
Ms. Mary, you did not mention anything to that effect in your previous testimony. And yet, you clearly stated that the one thing you were specifically focused on, more than anything else, was the milk bucket.
I love how, because they defaulted to his default animations, right? He has this piece of paper, which, where did he get this piece of paper? How did he write the court record on it while they were going around? Just to bring up and be like, yo, look at this paper, bro. Oh, whoops. I hit the button one sec.
Ergo, you should be able to confirm to the court whether or not the bucket was really placed on the ground.
Objection. One's memory is not flawless, Sir Blue Knight. Pay attention to what the witness was saying. The accused probably placed the milk bucket on the ground. There is the possibility such was the case.
Yes, that's right. Isn't it my cute little pumpkin? Bah.
No, it's
Uh,
fishy about her testimony, but
Indeed. It would seem to require a decisive piece of evidence. If we are to
how about the fact
expose...
that the milk bucket is still full? Well, no, that wouldn't make a difference because that would be more likely that you put it down.
If we are to expose the contradictions in these witnesses' testimonies...
Yeah, you just have to think of what it could be.
Okay, we're back to this. He's the last statement, right? The drunkard is the last statement.
Yes.
Yeah, he's definitely the last statement.
Hold it!
I guess we'll grill everybody here.
Oh my.
All those fails will drop a hit coin, right? Let's do this guy.
Hang on!
Hey, excuse me. Mr. Knightlet?
Dots, bro.
Tell me, what do you think about this witness's testimony just now? He claims the accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now.
I am reminded about one thing, sir. A battle tactic important to any knight. Imagine, in one hand, you hold your sword, and in the other, your shield. When suddenly from the shadows, an itch of epic proportions takes to your back. What doth one do? Indeed, what can one do? Well, let me tell you. One must drop one's sword and fell that unholy itch with a well-timed scratch at one's back.
Okay.
A crafty witch could surely use the same tactic, would she not? I call it my signature back scratch attack of great justice. Or basage.
Right.
By the way, be wary when using that tactic in battle. I find my opponents rarely give me ample time to remove my armor and scratch.
Dots. Thank you for that, Mr. Neidle.
Mr. Neidle seems to take the whole night thing super seriously, huh?
Yeesh. The drawing board.
I guess we're gonna go to the last one possible, or what? I don't know.
Hold it!
Chin.
Objection!
Come on.
What?
What? What? Okay. It really was not letting me select her. I do not know why.
Hang on!
Hang on!
Excuse me, Ms. Kira? Yes, what is it? Dots. But you're right. How odd. Everyone must have simply forgotten, myself included. What? Yeah, Isabella definitely did put that milk bucket down. That way she was able to easily grab her scepter and use magic. Easy peasy, right?
The nerve, Nick. It looks like she's trying to peg Isabella as a witch every chance she gets. I do not know what I did with her voice, but it sounds pretty awful.
Well, I don't know how much more of this testimony I can stand.
Okay, I'm dropping a hit coin. Take my hit coin. Okay.
Come on,
Okay.
we should present here.
Oh, present the bucket. It doesn't have mud on it.
I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Objection!
Ha, ha, ha. I'm afraid what really happened is not quite so simple.
What? What you talking about?
It only just stopped raining moments before the crime took place. As a result, the ground was very muddy. If Miss Cantabella really placed the bucket on the ground like you claim, well then, it should be caked with mud, just like the lantern after it fell.
Okay. All right.
Well, I say that clears up your muddy testimony, don't you?
Well, hey, Marnum.
What?
You just gonna sit there looking pretty? Come on, give me a hand here.
Flattery will get you nowhere, witness, other than perhaps to the dungeon. At any rate, there is but one question we have to ask. Why is there no mud on that bucket?
I assume you have a smart-ass answer.
To the witness with the goat, may I ask you a question? He did not give a smart-ass answer. He's going to ask the witness a question, Sandry.
No. It's a smart-ass answer.
Indeed, you admitted to the court that you returned home with the milk bucket. Illegally, I must add. My oh my, such harsh words, Inquisitor. When you took the bucket home, you must have simply wiped mud from the bucket, is that correct? Dots! You know, now that you mention it...
Yep, this is normal. Like I said, bullshit.
That milk bucket... that's right! I remember now! I don't know if what was on the bucket was mud exactly, but it certainly was dirty. Before taking it inside with me, I remember wiping it clean with an old rag.
Yep. I am in no way surprised. Like I said, smart-ass response. Exceptional work, Inquisitor Burnham. Right, it all makes perfect sense. See, we were right all along, weren't we, Inquisitor Barnum? She's a witch, kill her now.
I knew that sword weren't just for show. Barnum, you sliced his argument in two.
Objection!
Witness, Ms. Mary.
What is it?
You're absolutely sure there was mud stuck to this milk bucket?
Oh my. Truth be told, I don't remember where it was mud exactly. But I do remember cleaning the bucket off when I got home.
Really? Because that sure looks like it's the same amount of milk that that it had before. What did you do? Hang it overhead and wipe the bottom?
It would seem the defense has failed to disprove the witness's claims. Of that we can be certain.
Witnesses didn't claim anything.
Har! That'll teach you, Bluey. You got that right. Do me a favor, will you, Gramps? I want to change me testimony. Just a tiny weensy little bit.
Please let him. This is the way my life goes.
I will allow it, only if the witness refrains from name-calling in the future.
You could just strike his testimony and kill him. There's a fire right behind him.
Yeah, you
Fine,
got
just
it,
give him a
Grant.
kick in the face and send him backwards.
My lord. Well, all this cart mumbo jumbo has left me thirstier than a dog in a desert.
Don't you love how this guy doesn't have a name? He is still some guy.
He's also managed to get a lot of liquor out of that one, tankard. Holy shit.
I have the tankard of infinite. Which was there holding the stick? I even heard it say the incantation thingy. That's right, I witnessed it all.
Uh-huh. Yep. Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's
Mhm.
present this, though, is it? Do you think?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Presented, why not?
we got 5. We're still at max
Yeah.
shields. Wait, shields are pick. I don't care about pick-rats.
Objection!
Okay.
Fine, let's press. Fuck you, asshole.
Just want to be sure. Okay.
Hold it!
No one knows for sure if Miss Cantabella dropped that milk bucket on the ground.
Because there's no mud on it. Is that what you're saying? Huh, we went over this already. Everyone know that goat lady wiped off all the mud.
Objection!
However, Miss Mary doesn't clearly remember whether or not it was mud that was stuck on the bucket.
We really don't remember, but maybe? I guess maybe there was mud on it. I mean, she couldn't hold the scepter without putting the bucket on the ground. Bah!
Miss Mary, please give a definitive answer.
You all done, boy? Talk all you want, because it ain't gonna help, you see. The 5 of us, we saw that witch went, and it did. We saw it clear as day.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that clear as day thing. Got something to say, Mr.
Twisting.
Hang on!
Got something to say over there, Mr. Oldswords? Excuse me, Mister. Did Earth to the old geezer. It's me.
Defender, when you say Gramps, might you by any chance be referring to me?
No, of course not, Your Honor. I'm referring to the Gramps over there, not the Honorable Judge. Mr. Wordsmith, are you listening? Yep. I heard you quite clearly. First time, young man. These ears hear all the crackling of the fire, the whispering of the crowd, and now your voice. If that's the case, then allow me to ask you a question. You were clearly deep in thought just now. Do you have anything to say about this man's testimony? It? Indeed, sir. I felt something was in me. However, what it means cannot say.
You cannot do that bit with this voice.
In me. I can do a deeper voice. It just goes down. A little. I can do it a little higher too. Sounds a little bit. Miss.
Witness, could you tell us what precisely was amiss with this third-rate testimony from this third-rate witness?
What a burn, dude. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with you. 5 heads. I bet you than 1. 10 eyeballs. I bet you than 2. As I listened to this man's testimony, I could not help but think since I've become aware of something odd. Tonight, when the cream occurred, we all made haste to the terrible scheme. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated through the air. Shadows of those present cast through the dim light. And yet, there were but 4 figures standing in that vicinity, myself included. 4. Hold on a second. Who's missing? You're saying that there were only 4 witnesses at the crime scene tonight? These eyes may be old, but they knew what they saw. I can still count. 1, 3, 7, 2, 14. See? Counting is perfectly normal. Something the matter, Miss Mary?
No, it's just that Snowy and I are trying to remember what happened at the time. I remember the flames erupting into the air, and that's when Snowy and I made our mad dash to save the precious milk. And when those 2 ruffians were set ablaze...
Excuse me? Okay, go, carry on.
The flame filled the area with lights. That sudden flash of light, we could see that there were other people around besides ourselves. And that's when I saw them, the other people that scrambled to the scene along with us. I'm quite sure of it. There were only 4 of us at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Hold it, madam. What in blazes is going on? We have 5 witnesses on the stand, all claiming to have witnessed tonight's events firsthand. That means we have 1 witness too many.
Well,
Don't be stupid. Oh, you lot better stop speaking out of turn. Oh, for one for all, remember? We all promised to take the switch down together, didn't we?
God, I hope I don't have to voice him for much longer. He is killing my throat. It's not quite that simple. We saw what we saw.
having a good time there, John?
No.
I see it's all about the numbers. And I counted, I see. There were 5, 4. There were numbers. I'll have you know my counting is flawless. On nights when sleep eludes me, I can count sheep from moonrise to sunrise. I'm good in the counting. 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses. What difference does it make? Things all started getting muddled when you showed up.
What? What? You saying it's my fault? I was there, you fool. Didn't I just finish saying that? Bruh, my testimony is strong as steel, even if it's not completely stainless. Order. Order. I said order. What is going on here? You claim the number of witnesses does not add up. I have never paid witnesses to such an outrageous conflict.
Paid witness is technically a term.
Okay.
It means I've never seen.
I thought it was witnesses, and I was adding extra syllables.
That would be strange.
I have never paid witness to such an outrageous conflict. Oh shit, Leighton's here too. There's but one answer to this puzzle. A single possibility. Oh,
Yes,
what
Leighton.
do you mean?
It's normal.
Without a doubt, magic must have been used at the scene of the crime. Wait, he goes magic. Without a doubt, magic must use the scene of the crime. Furthermore, it would indeed appear that there were only 4 witnesses present at the scene. And yet, currently, we are faced with 5 witnesses testifying to the court. That certainly is quite a fatal contradiction, with only one possible answer. Wouldn't you not agree, Mr. Wright?
Oh yeah, no, I know what's going on here, Leighton. One of these is actually the criminal. This is my standard life.
Well, out with the supposed answer, Sir Blue Knight.
I mean,
What is your explanation for the current number of witnesses?
one of them is the witch. Duh. While it might seem far-fetched to you, the reality is this is my everyday case. It's really pretty simple. One of the witnesses is in fact the criminal. Except for the time when it was the prosecutor. Are you a criminal, sir? The real witch, and the real murderer in this case, is actually one of these 5 witnesses.
Well, there's only 2 women, so, What? What?
Like I said, this is just a Tuesday for me, so like...
Dab and slam. You're telling us that the witches amongst this group of witnesses What utter rubbish! There's no possible way that such a claim could be true. Third game.
First game.
That game too, yeah.
Wait. Which one? Which time was the third?
Godot.
Oh,
Godot!
yeah, technically I suppose. Yeah, no, he did show up and stab somebody, didn't he?
Yeah, no, like, he used his laser vision and that's how we caught him. Remember?
Alright, because he couldn't see the blood or something?
Yeah. And... yeah, it wasn't the case during the second game.
That's
No,
right.
No, Francesca's just a pain in the ass, not actually a criminal.
That's
Except
right.
for the part where she routinely assaults people in court with a weapon.
The judge lets go. It's fine. That's right. You got a lot of nerve accusing us of being a witch.
We had told you nothing but the truth. Yeah, you still have the gall to bat around such an outrageous accusation?
I don't know if I would go as far as you've told us the truth. You've
Behold!
told us words.
Behold, as my trusted shield deflects your petty words like the petty words that they are.
Odds. Inquisitor Barton. Yes, my lord. I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. Do you have one in your possession? Yes, certainly, my lord. I have one here. I requested it from the court illustrator just in case. Very well, witnesses. I would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Here, on this crime scene sketch. Quickly now.
Number of witnesses doesn't add up. This is only a slightly new experience for me. What a shock. One of the witnesses is the murderer. Yep. Wait, and I tried to tell you earlier, but you were so busy gloating about your victory. Leighton,
Did you
you
forget
need
I
to
can
leave this
read?
to the professional, okay?
Did you forget I can read your blue text? I know what you were thinking, Mr. Wright. The court accepts this crime sketch into evidence. Area map added to the court record. I'm pretty sure you want to see that again,
One of the
so I'm
witnesses
going to
is the
bring it
witch.
up. That's the map. Okay?
Yep.
Alright.
Only mean one thing. Somebody here isn't telling the truth, as always.
That would indeed appear to be the case, Mr. Wright. Remember, I read your blue text.
Oh my god, you fucking freak. Go the... Sure.
Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you tread now is a dangerous one. Claiming
me
that a
guess.
witch is
I'll
among
be set on fire if I
most-
claim the wrong person as a witch.
Claiming that a witch is among these most honorable witnesses is a serious accusation. Should it prove to be a false one, you will find yourself at the other end of my sword. Do I make myself clear?
This is only slightly more scary than usual. But... okay, Phoenix, I'm not reading that one. That was absolutely, literally suggested. It's his fault. He's the one who told me to say it.
It's the same thing, Sir Blue Knight. Indeed, it is the same thing, Sir Baker. Is it? Oh my god. When these three
You
speak in a
asshole,
row,
you need to shut the fuck up or I will feed you to that fire myself.
when these three speak in a row, I have to find the base for each of them, and it's really driving me up the wall. It's the same thing, Mr. Wright.
What else is new?
Now, ready your sword.
I don't have a sword, you fucking imbecile.
Were you listening? You claim the witch is not the accused and that someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime, can you not? Come now, Sir Blue Knight. Only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is. Sir Dewey Defender. Show us where
That's
the witch...
Dowdy, sir. It's Dowdy.
Show the witch where the... show us where the witch was at the exact moment the murder took place.
I'm assuming it was the one who's been trying to convince everyone to just kill Cantabella without any further process.
I'm just gonna drop a hit point. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Because I remember this one tripping me up.
Got it.
The witch must have been standing here.
What? What is the meaning of this?
Someone is lying.
Unfortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
It's called lying, sir. Have you ever encountered a witness to do that? Inquisitor Barton, I suggest you try taking a look at this.
The Grand Grimoire.
Yep. If you look at this, if you look right here, page 17, subparagraph 3, according to this tome, Ignise's spell summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the witch had to have been within 1 meter of the flame when casting the spell.
Objection.
Of course. You didn't say any more, Blue Knight. First off, notice that there's no one else in that area other than the accused. It should also be quite obvious from the sketch that there's clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
Objection.
What? You selected the trees! True, there aren't any hiding spots other than the forest, but... here's another possibility. If a witch wanted to stay hidden from sight.
You just got dabbed on, Phoenix. Most intriguing. Since you seem to love showing evidence, prove it. How was the witch able to hide in plain sight?
Oh, I don't know. How about the fucking spell?
Yeah, I think it's the spell.
Take that.
This Talia Magica contains 2 magic gems. You fucking nitwit.
I think we could have also presented the staff, by the way, too.
Ignise and 1 other spell. That's right, the spell Demere.
Demir. Ah! It cannot be!
That's right. Somebody used magique. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene. Only, you know, they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Dimire, probably.
What foolishness is this? This might go by pretty fast.
Dimire?
Get ready. Order! Order in the court! Defender! What are you getting at? I thought the witch used Demir to make the Talia Magica disappear.
Objection.
No. According to the Grand Grimoire, under the entry for Dimere, it causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words, supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand while touching a part of their body with the other. Why, they would be able to make themselves completely disappear.
Are you implying that this is the reason for the conflicting number of witnesses? Indeed it is. Which means witnesses. Sandra, it's looking like we're going to go a little bit over, but we're about to hit the final point. Do you want to keep going? Is someone amongst you is not disclosing the
I
entire
would not.
truth?
I got a couple of things I got to
That
do tonight
person
still.
is the witch we seek. Well, we'll push it as far as we can then. I believe this is the most probable scenario. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court one final time. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the site of the crime. Scene of the crime.
You're absurdly absurd. The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not?
That's right. We are not witches. I'm Leighton.
Fuck you.
Witnesses, I ask you listen.
You.
There is a witch mingling among you. That's right. I'm afraid you're all no longer brothers in arms. The true opponent is here, within your own group. The dots.
Real witches, one of these 5 witnesses. Condition normal. Time to put an end to this trial. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't think that Phoenix is in any way shocked by the fact that one of the witnesses is in fact the criminal, since that's pretty much the normal way his life goes.
You wish to know where we're all standing tonight? Matters not. The flames will burn just the same.
Blaine, I never saw anything quite like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream.
I heard the tiniest cry, and when I turned around, the blinders were roasting, so I rushed right over.
I heard the incantation and the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain. I always saw 3 people here with us.
As I said, there were only 3 others present. Like that man who was stumbling around like a newborn kid.
A most heinous act indeed. No small wonder these witnesses are so confused. A witch among the witnesses. What an utterly baseless claim.
I don't think so, Barnum. That's normal. Again, like, this is just my life. The only baseless claim in this case is Bella being a witch. It's more than a little likely to be. It's more likely to be. I don't even understand what the hell that was. Testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is.
I'm just going to drop the hit coin right now so we can speed it up. Take my hit coin, you filthy game. Alright, press.
Hold it!
So, including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct? That is how it is going to pass. By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn cat? Yes. That man was inebriated as he was allowed. Like the humor cited was, I dare say. He's got him in the permanently drunk idiot. When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, my word, whatever could that be? However, I couldn't simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from shock, you see. That's when the wobbly-legged gentleman came running over.
Come on. Question.
Hang on!
Is something the matter, Mr. Drunk?
Not. I don't know, it's just something.
Oi! Fuck what?
Whoa! Tone down the volume, Bluey.
That's my line.
Sir Blue Knight, next time please think before trying to press this witness.
This guy has to hear Barnum has though. Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's test just now. You claimed you were stumbling around. What does he mean by that?
I'm going to set the record straight right now. No way was I stumbling around anywhere. I like to think of more of staggering with style.
Hey, a man after my own heart. Screenshot.
Responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night.
Hey, look, just don't go stumbling around like some crazy. I got more sense than that. But anyway, I kind of tripped over a large stone. I mean, you don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you when you're running at full pelt, right? So you could say I put my life on the line, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you run.
How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal.
My lord, this testimony is a meaningless waste of everyone's time. Well, Defender, is there a point to this particular line of questioning?
Worth pursuing here. What should I do?
I think we have the question further.
Yeah, that seems about right. The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you?
To be honest with you, ain't much of a real reason, but something got my attention out of nowhere. Sort of heard someone call it me name.
You heard your name.
Is his name Al?
Oh, of course, I turn around when I heard it. Who wouldn't? When a woman calls your name, you pay attention, am I right?
So, you heard someone call out, "Hey, you," from behind, you mean?
What? I said to call up my name. How many guys you know how called hey you?
I would not put it past you.
Me name is the Mirror. Then don't you forget it, Bluey. You hear me?
Okay.
Have you figured
As
out?
soon as the-
Have you figured out the Emir?
Yes.
I must say, this gentleman really does not strike me as an Emir. Yes, as soon as we get to like questioning again, we'll stop. Okay.
Yep.
That's you, Luke.
You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh? That's pretty harsh, kid.
Honorable witnesses, is there anyone among you who's aware of this man's name prior to now?
Not at all. He's always just been Mr. to me. Knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries.
Did she? It is the first I've heard of this. I did not expect his name to be Emir. I did not know he had a name. I thought he was just obtaining drink. I'm sorry, but I didn't know his name either. I only know the names of my most loyal customers. I moan it a lot. Okay. Looks like absolutely nobody knew this witness's name.
You know, it ain't really much of a surprise to me either. But seriously, I definitely heard someone call me name. When you get to be me age, you really start to wonder when you find true love, you know? You thought that pretty voice might have been a sweetie.
Dots.
Dots. Dots.
Dots.
Your Honor, I do not believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Emir's testimony as meaningless. Would you not agree? I request the witness add this amusing anecdote to his testimony. Okay, I think that that's going to remind me of exactly where we were at. Because that's also important. I need to remember where we're at next week, right? So
That's fair.
So the add this to the testimony, cough, cough, hint, hint. But have you figured out the importance of his name?
Yes, that was someone disappearing. Or rather, that was someone reappearing.
Yep.
All right, I will catch you later.
Okay. That's for everybody else. Thank you all for watching if you have been. Oh.
We are going to call it here, as it were. As I go ahead and mirror up some food later. Just always paranoid about saving. So yes, thank you all for watching. We will obviously be continuing this on next week. Right. Do I have any other like special plans? No. The stream schedule will probably be updated sometime around Wednesday or Thursday. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. And now I need to rest my voice. Oh, jeez.